After we weighed our copper and got 0.4969 grams, we added 5 milliliters of concentrated nitric acid to a 10 milliliter graduated cylinder and poured it into a 250 milliliter beaker containing our copper.
A few moments later.
We stirred the substance to ensure that the reaction was complete and carefully transferred it to our lab table without inhaling the toxic gas. Please. After nearly dying from the toxic gas, we obtained 100 milliliters of water and poured it into the beaker containing our substance. Then we got 30 milliliters of 3 molar sodium hydroxide and added it to the beaker with our substance. Stir gently. Then we gently heated the substance while stirring.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
We also heated 200 milliliters of distilled water.
Meanwhile,
This is when we realized that the group next to us was using a scupula instead of a stirring rod. Funny stuff. After our substance reached boiling point, we took our beaker to the lab table and allowed our substance to settle. After the substance fully settled, we decanted the top liquid.
a few inches later.
Then we added the 200 milliliters of hot distilled water and left it for Mr. Carlson to decant for us. Thanks, bud.
Day 2.
Then we got 15 milliliters of 6 molar sulfuric acid. We added it to the beaker containing our substance and stirred.
Eventually,
We obtained 2 grams of 30 mesh zinc metal and took it to the fume hood. We slowly added the zinc to our substance and stirred.
12 seconds later.
After the reaction stopped, we decanted the liquid. Then we got 20 milliliters of 6 molar hydrochloric acid and added it to our substance. Then we added 50 milliliters of distilled water. Then we decanted the liquid. We masked a porcelain evaporating dish. And then we poured our remaining substance in it. Then we added 10 milliliters of distilled water to the solid and stirred and decanted the liquid and repeated 2 more times. Then we washed the solid with 5 milliliters of acetone and decanted the liquid in a container labeled organic waste. We placed our dish on a hot plate and evaporated the acetone from our solid. When we thought it was completely evaporated, we weighed our dish. The final mass of our copper was 0.9073 grams, giving us a 183% yield. Because we weighed our copper chunky instead of letting the acetone evaporate all the way, our actual yield was much greater than our theoretical. The objective of this experiment was to prove the law of conservation of mass, as solid copper was carried throughout 5 different chemical reactions.